media to see Oren's deck today.
Okay.
He had a good day one, so.
Yep. Still having a good day, too. He's 10-2. We watched him to kick off the day. He lost his first match. He's won the other ones.
To Jund, right?
Yeah, he got kind of destroyed by Jund.
Yeah.
There were some large Tarmogoyfs.
And Oren's deck is one of Patrick's favorite cards, Remand.
Yes, a Patrick Sullivan staple.
Loves that card.
Yes, Remand. Patrick, how's that Jimmy John's treating you, buddy? Yep, there it is.
Remand tough when a lot of people are playing 0 and 1 mana cards like these Phoenix decks, but we got full force Saheeli Rai in this deck.
Yeah. Then we got the full combo, Saheeli Rai and Felidar Guardian.
And interesting enough, this build does not have the Kiki-Jiki and Deceiver Exarch stuff.
Yep.
So it's strictly just Felidar Guardian, Saheeli as their combo. Wall of Omen, Snapcaster Mage, all the value.
Well, it looks like Oren's going down to 6 cards. Seth is ready and currently up a game. So while they get that taken care of, quick little ad here for our YouTube page where you can watch Versus Live, which you partake in sometimes.
I guest in occasionally when I'm in the office.
You're our hype man.
Oh, yeah.
In the office, perfect. We got Nick Miller, Brad Nelson, Ross Merriam, and Todd Anderson in there. Commander Versus, of course, with Jeremy Knoll, Justin Parnell, Jonathan Suarez, and Stephen Green, who had some booth time this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Flashback, which you help us produce with Brad, Todd. We've done one with Jim, and we've done one with Ross.
We got another one coming up with someone you might know.
Yeah, so that's a secret for later down the road. Best of the SCG Tour, like that last match we just watched. That'll be on there.
Clear best of.
Yeah, that'll be on there, and a whole bunch more. Subscribe today at youtube.com/StarCityGames. Become one of over 150,000 subscribers. Here we go. Let's do this.
And Seth is up a game, correct?
Yes, Seth up a game. We got a couple Celestial Colonnades to kick things off. You've seen Oren in the feature match area a decent amount. You mentioned on social media people want to see this deck. And he's playing against maybe the best player in the room right now, in Seth Manfield.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of killers in this room. This field was stacked this tournament. Reed Duke, Brad Nelson, Brian Brown doing all here. But, yeah, Seth, alongside BBD, also world champions here.
What did Reed play? We didn't get to see him
Jund,
yesterday.
of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't sure if he mixed it up or not.
Yeah, he's battling in a classic today after Patrick observed yesterday him battling at 4-4 to end the day.
Respected.
Yeah.
Reed playing out every single round, finishing his tournament. Really loved it.
That's how you become the best.
That's right. For Oren, he's got a 2-mana spell in Wall of Omens. For Seth, he has Search for his Kanta. We haven't got to see BBD.
He had a tough start of the tournament, so he made day 2 at 6-3, but today it has not gone well for him.
What's he playing?
Ironworks.
Oh, I didn't know he played that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him, Shaheen, Ely all just kind of talk and do the KCI
So that's
thing.
maybe why Ironworks had a high day 2 percentage. Like those guys and some other players as well. Okay. Patrick and I were a little surprised when we were doing the metagame breakdown, like 11 copies being in day 2. It's pretty high, even though we have a lot of players in day 2 today.
Yeah. Nope, third most represented deck, I believe.
Yeah.
So. Austin Collins also on it, made day 2. So
that kid's good. I like Austin.
He's on the come up. Obviously, a very young kid.
15.
Still in high school. He's got 2 invitational top 4s.
Oh boy.
Okay, I believe Oren's glasses broke, and I saw on social media yesterday that they broke as well, and a judge fixed them.
Okay.
So it looks like we're in he needs them to be fixed to continue the match thing.
Okay, so this is an SCG Tour first.
And I can feel for Oren in this case. If my glasses broke,
that's game, right?
I don't know if I would be able to see the cards on the opposite side of the table.
Okay, so right now, let's give a full breakdown. So we just went from that Grixis War match to this, in which Oren's glasses broke.
Unlucky.
He can't see without his glasses when they break. And we have to I can't believe this is happening. And we have to halt the match.
Get an extension here.
Until we solve.
You just want to try to play some Magic and your glasses break on you. Who hasn't been there?
Okay. All right.
There's nothing we could have done to avoid this.
Okay, I think we're going to continue play.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
This is an unfair advantage for Seth. Already one of the best players in the world.
He doesn't need any more help.
Yeah.
He does not need any more help. All right. Oren's going to get a mountain. I think he might have Saheeli Rai. No, he's got Vendilion Click. Okay. This is a round for the ages right now. I've never covered a round like this before.
Let's see what else can go wrong.
Yeah. The hand here, Dispel to Fairy, Lightning Bolt, Celestial Purge, another Dispel, a Hieroglyphic Illumination, and a Flooded Strand. Oren's going to write those down. And I'm curious. Let's see.
Yeah, like, what do you pick here? I guess it depends on what's in Oren's hand, if he cares about the removal or if he cares about the counterspell.
I mean, that's a lot of counterspells to have to try to overcome here. Well, they're dispels. They're not like hard counters. Bolt is kind of interesting because it kills the Vendilion Click. That could just be Seth's plan, is just to kill that, but it could be Oren's plan to try to kill him with that.
Yeah.
Purge doesn't appear to do very much right now. Same with Hieroglyphic Illumination, and then Teferi is a pretty long way down the road.
Yeah, a handful of lands away from getting there. Looking at Teferi.
All right.
Expecting the game to go long here.
Oren's deck can go pretty long, though.
Yeah, it's got a lot of value.
And he can do a decent job of threatening the combo.
Doing some Saheelis with the Wall of Omens, just drawing cards.
You a little surprised not to see more of the Saheeli Rai combo deck in Modern?
Only because people just long for Twin so much.
Yep.
I would feel they would just kind of slot to this as a substitute. But I feel like the format's a little harsh for this.
Okay.
Saheeli is a tough card to defend.
Yeah, not the most powerful Planeswalker. The plus ability is not all that good. The deal one, scry one. But
and it's sort of like a faux control deck or tempo deck with the remands and the lightning helixes and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not a pure control deck like what Seth's up to.
4 Spreading Seas as well.
Another Patrick Sullivan staple.
Yeah, go after some colonnades.
That's right. It's not exactly Wasteland, but feels like it. Seth going to get an island here instead. Yeah, he's going to get an island.
And now he's going to use the Field of Ruin
to kill a colonnade.
And see if he digs up the mountain.
Yeah.
Does he have a mountain?
Oh, yeah, he's got one. And then cast the Lightning Bolt. That's a good turn for Seth. That also gets more cards into the graveyard, too.
Yep.
For the Search for his Kanta, so that's a pretty good turn.
No surprise Seth seeing many lines.
Yeah, we watched Seth play a little bit earlier, the feature match between him and Caleb. He played really, really well.
Yeah.
Because he's really good.
Unsurprisingly well.
Yeah, he's really good. So that's a nice turn there for Manfield. We're going to go over to Oren now. Looks like his vision is holding up.
He's getting by.
Okay. You have similar things with
I
glasses,
have been there before.
Yeah.
And if my glasses break, I am in life can barely move on mode. So
all
Pia
right.
and Kira Nalar get a little Thopter token here.
We need 2 Nick Millers on the battlefield stat. This was all just one big setup. Don't worry, we'll
get those off the table.
We'll get those removed in a minute.
I cannot stand this.
No.
Shaheen was playing KCI with Sai yesterday, and he was just using like pro player cards for his tokens.
Get them out.
I just had to go grab a few of mine and use the real thing.
It's a good Thopter token.
I like it. I'm a big
nice
fan.
Work there. Some nice work. There's a Sacred Foundry on tap. And Seth will just pass. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 cards in the graveyard there for search. There is Pia and Kieran Nalar. 2 red, 2, 2. And there's a battlefield, 2 Thopter tokens. And then you can sacrifice an artifact. Doesn't have to be a Thopter token. It can be any artifact to deal 2 damage to target creature or player.
Tell you what, Michael Coyle's deck could have used this card.
That would have been nice to have a way to actually win. Yeah.
Magic Origins All-Star here.
He's won 10 times. I need to know how. Here's a Celestial Purge going to go after Pia and Kira.
All right. Oren knew this was here, so.
Yep. So that's going to be exiled. A little bit of damage going to come through.
Still don't see my tokens yet.
Yeah. We're working on it. We're working on it, partner.
I mean, he might not be able to find them, to be fair.
Tell him you're not sure.
Saheeli is here.
Yeah?
We've got the value with the wall. if he so chooses.
I think he's gonna. Copy the Wall of Omens. There you are.
Nice.
There's the camera time you've been looking for. All right, copy the wall, draw a card.
Looks like Seth has a response.
It's going to cycle the Hieroglyphic Illumination. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's 7 cards in the graveyard. We might see a transformation. Let's make it 8 cards now with another Hieroglyphic Illumination being cycled.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have the Sunken Ruin going to work now.
That card's busted.
Yeah, it's very good. All the way, played all the way down to Vintage.
Is his Vintage play?
I've seen a handful of Vintage decks play it in some numbers.
Nice. I didn't know that. I guess I'm not too surprised. I mean, this card's absurd. There's a Sulphur Falls in there. There's the battlefield untapped. Seth is reaching. Might be time for maybe a little Electrolyze. A card that he's playing 3 copies of main deck this weekend. I don't know if you've had the time to take a look at all these Jeskai lists.
They have a lot of Electrolyzes.
Yeah. I'd like to know why they're playing so many. I mean, it seems to make some sense.
So I know the Nikolic, Rossum, Nelson Triumvirate kind of all basically worked and took the same list.
Okay.
And Nikolic is pretty high on Electrolyze.
Okay.
So those 3, I know that. But when I talked to Seth early yesterday, he kind of did almost his own thing.
Okay.
So they must agree that Electrolyze is where you want to be with humans, spirits, and all that kind of stuff running around.
Man, it looked good here. Took care of Saheeli Rai and a Thopter token. Do you know much about the story about Nikolic and Brad? And just how Brad just...
So I know at the last Invitational, Brad just basically asked Nikolic, he's like, what are you playing? And played his exact same deck,
okay.
Same sideboard guide at the Invitational.
Okay.
They got paired, and Nikolic schooled him, I believe.
Okay.
And since then, Brad just kind of sticks to Jeskai, and he sticks to Nikolic.
Yeah.
So, and there are worse players you could copy than Nikolic. Nikolic is one of the best on the tour if you look at just pure win rate.
Yeah, something I know you keep track of,
yeah.
Like the day 2 percentage and win rate and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's a monster. So,
and he might be the best Jeskai player. I know Rossum's pretty good with it, but
yeah.
Nikolic is really the one that moved that whole thing forward.
Some of my favorite parts of the tour are just watching that group, the Nikolic, Rossum, Abe Stein, Sakinic, like conglomerate talking about Jeskai, and then just the random cards they're throwing around in their decks. And like one weekend they have like Peak and Settle the Wreckages in their deck, and 1 Serum Visions, and just random things.
Oh, yeah, there was the week where they played like 3 Settles.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And that was the week Nikolic played Dredge in the top 8, and it paid off.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Disdainful Stroke took care of the Felidar Guardian. A Scalding Tarn there for Manfield, pass the turn back. He'll take 1 from this Thopter. One thing Oren's deck can't do, unfortunately, doesn't really have the ability for a burnout plan. It's not impossible. He does have a Lightning Helix in hand right now, I believe. But
yeah, with 4 Bolts, 2 Helix, 3 Snapcaster Mage, there is a little bit of that,
yeah.
but not quite as much as some of the pure Jeskai control decks that can do that audible. Plus 2 Colonnades, not quite as many as the other control decks.
We're going to see Seth activate Escanta now. He's got enough life to work with. Take a look at the top 4 cards.
This is the point where the control deck just takes over.
Yeah.
They're eventually going to harness Escanta, the Sunken Ruin, and eventually find Teferi, and then the card advantage just can't be overcome.
Seth picked up a Lightning Helix off of that activation. That'll be able to take care of the Thopter at some stage. I know we've had a lot of Jeskai control players in the feature match area, and it doesn't seem like they're going to time or anything, though.
Yeah, I mean, with Teferi, you can just get enough cards or threaten an ultimate, and with Colonnades and all the burn spells, you can just close out games once you have taken over.
Yeah, you would think a deck like this would maybe take a little bit longer to win, but Brad and Seth, they're pretty fast players, not the fastest players on Earth, and
yeah.
It doesn't seem like they're having any difficulty finishing their matches. Same thing for Rossum, too, even though he's had a tough day.
Yep.
Oren just going to pass the turn back.
Yeah, out of all the control decks, only Blizzard, who we just had, only has 1 draw.
Okay.
But they're all still at the top tables, with the exception of Rossum, of course, who's had a pretty tough day.
Cryptic Command, the find there for Seth Manfield. A lot of control decks at the top tables this weekend.
I mean, we've had 1 or 2 in the feature match every round, so Brad is playing Caleb this round.
Okay.
So
yeah,
one of them will continue to be X3, but
Caleb had it tough against Seth.
Yeah.
I think it was last round. It did. Yeah, it was last round. It was not good news for Caleb.
And Seth played Storm at the Team Pro Tour, so he has his reps with the Storm deck and knows what to look out for in that matchup. So
got it.
No stranger to that.
Oren's just got that Thopter, 4 cards in hand. The difference here, though, is one notable land that Seth has that Oren doesn't.
Yes.
There in Escanta.
That is drawing an extra card every turn.
Yeah. And a darn good one.
Thopter putting in work here, but I don't know if he can ride this all the way to victory.
You haven't died just yet.
Yeah.
I think you might suffer the fate of a Lightning Helix in just a moment. Unfortunately for you. Not the best birthday present.
I've seen a lot of my tokens just chump blocking Mantis Riders this weekend.
There's a Lightning Helix. You've been fried. Seth will gain 3 life. Why'd you go with Thopter?
I wanted something that could see long-term play.
Okay.
And we didn't really have a personality Thopter.
Okay.
Because I was given basically the option of that and the Vigilance Knight for History Benalia.
Okay.
And while there's a ton of that seeing play in Standard, you don't see a lot of it going back in the older formats. And stuff like Hangerback Walker sees a lot of Eternal play, even Vintage play.
Okay.
And then Pia and Sai.
Yeah,
these cards are going to see play for a while.
You might even get a little Thopter Foundry action with that.
And I kind of did a little specking, thinking that the new Tezzeret might also see play because it makes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that card existed.
But so far, no one's. I assume Ali Antrazi will eventually play that card. So
Logic Knot has been added to Seth's hand. Now Seth's just trying to figure out the best way to close this one out. It looks like.
Not to mention, Reed Duke has a nice Vigilant Knight token. There's no need to encroach there.
Yeah. Some battles can't be won.
Yeah.
Geist of Saint Traft.
Interesting. I don't know if Brad and all of them have Geists.
They don't. So most of them have a Baneslayer and a Lyra, where Seth has a Baneslayer and a Geist.
All right.
And they're pretty different.
Yeah.
But
when I talk to like I said, the Jeskai conglomerate, they are all basically have just turned in the Angels are where you want to be because they're really good in the matchups that are tougher, like Dredge as well.
Okay.
They just have a hard time beating that card.
Beating 5/5 first strike Vigilance, or excuse me, Lifelink.
And it's usually just game over against spirits and humans and stuff too. So,
that makes sense to me. That makes sense.
They have a turn window to find Reflector Mage, or they're just gonna. They don't have Doom Blades in their deck.
Yeah. All right, top 4 again here for Seth. You can only make it through so many Escanta activations. I think this is his 4th one, because that's a second Cryptic Command that he's found off of Escanta.
And Oren hasn't had any plays. What is he holding over there?
He's got a Helix in hand. It looks like a Helix and a Path. The Path is hilariously bad right now.
Yeah, they're not going to do a lot.
As there's the Geist and an Angel token going to be coming across here. Yeah, his hand there's just nothing, unfortunately, for Oren that he can really do in this spot. He'll block with the Wall of Omen, sure, on the Geist, but there's just, it's too much. Escanta is just so much to overcome once it transforms.
Yeah, Seth's just gassed up his hand so much, I don't even know, he can hope to even get the combo off at this point with all the counter magic.
Yeah, and when you're playing against a player like Seth Manfield and they've got this going, it's, your chances of winning are very low.
You can punk out the best players when you get under them and, they struggle, but when they get set up, they're going to see the lines.
Yeah. Seth Manfield, not one to really miss the best plays. A Pro Tour champion, multiple-time Grand Prix champion.
World champion,
Hall of Famer.
He's got an SCG Tour title.
Yeah, I think he won in, I think it was D.C.
That sounds right.
I think it was D.C. a handful of years ago. Beat Steve Rubin in the finals, also a Pro Tour champion.
Yes.
Yeah. We didn't know then that we were watching two Pro Tour champions square off in the finals of an Open. Which, pretty crazy.
Yeah, and Rubin, SCG Tour title holder as well. Back with Abzan with some Siege Riders.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Steve won none. All right, here comes Geist and Angel token again. Oren going to play a Snapcaster Mage.
Okay. The RPTQ art.
Yes.
Snapcaster.
Looks like Lightning Helix will maybe be Lightning Helix.
With only targeted removal, like I don't see how Oren's going to get the Geist off with the because Seth has so many cards in hands, he can just deal with the Snapcaster Mage.
Well, I think the hope is to get to block the Geist with the Snapcaster Mage. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
obviously, Seth's going to play a Cryptic Command here, but I think that's actually the hope. And counter draw targeting Snapcaster Mage here. I think Seth asked them to fan out the graveyard, see what he was working with. Oh, it looks like some players at home clamoring for a Christopher Pukula feature match soon.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll see how he did this round, and we can easily dial him up if he's in a winning in position.
Okay.
Because he was still X2 after beating Ross, right? With the classic fanning of the playmat, which is already all over Reddit and Twitter. People love that.
Okay, so Twitter is informing me that blue-white is the worst matchup for Chris this week.
We saw it.
Yeah,
we saw that.
Okay.
Sorry, Michael. I didn't intend for that to be.
If that's literally the next worst matchup, then that makes a little more sense to me. And it looks like Michael Coyle is one of the innovators of this archetype.
All right.
Is what Twitter is letting me know.
Well, good for him. Unfortunate that he got that pairing.
Yeah, that's a bad time for that.
Unintentional.
Wall of Omens, gonna get in front of the Geist again.
But yeah, Pakula is one of my favorite stories of this weekend. You know, I talked to him before the tournament started. He said, I literally haven't played a game with this deck yet.
Okay.
I have no idea what I'm naming with Meddling Mage.
Okay.
And he's just had a delightful weekend with just a bunch of good stories from, you know, being in an unwinnable position at 3 life against Death Shadow when they thought sees him and he gut shots for the win in response. And he's done everything this weekend. Yeah,
he's having a heck of a tournament right now. He gave Ross a pretty good beating with some very good Meddling Mage names.
Yeah. Still got it.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get an Ascanta activation, I believe, in response to Spreading Seas.
Yeah, there was an interaction against Shaheen Sarani yesterday where a third chapter of Antiquities War went off, and Chris vialed in Phantasmal Image copying engineered explosives and blew up 2 of Shaheen's permanents.
And that kept him alive?
Yeah.
Did he? I think
he lost that game.
So he lost that game, but then won the next one. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Very nice.
It was good viewership, though.
For someone who's never played the deck before, he's seeing a lot of lines most people don't see.
There was a lengthy judge discussion that helped him figure out and make sure he could do that. But
Surgical Extraction is going to, reveal a hand that Oren simply cannot beat. As Seth Manfield's going to win this game and match here over Oren Lagziel, 2-0.